All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Bookmap Academy meeting. We do this every Thursday. We go through your trades, your content. We want to give feedback for you and open the mic and listen to what you were thinking about and how can we help you uh, better your trading. It's the coaching and mentoring part of this Bookmap Academy. If you're interested in it and there's no cost to it at all, just go to bookmap.com and then you'll click here on the more button. And then under community here, go to Bookmap Academy. You can read through it here, the steps involved. You can get Bookmap for free as long as you meet the quotas of the content and your trade journaling. All right. So Bruce's pilot program, yeah, we continue to show this here, but it's going really well. Been seeing some I don't unbelievable results from a lot of these traders. They are on the fast track. They're building their own edge through their own experiences in this program here. So I'll put the link into the chat for you. Congratulations to the Blue Jacket winners. It was Matt and David, or Trading His Life. Your Bookmap hoodie is on the way. Matt did a video, and then Trading His Life obviously has been making great content for a while. So way to go, guys. And look for it in the mail, I don't know, in another week or so. Bookmap Academy and our journaling process, building out your playbook. This is what we're looking for, the higher time frame impetus, what's moving the market, looking at your key levels then on your higher time frame, and then start to develop strategies and scenarios around it. If we're at highs of the day, is there data out there, the impetus that's moving the market higher? Are we going to break and accept higher? Are we in a trending day? If not, or you're waiting for data later in the week, maybe you want it, maybe it's more of like mean reversion type of activity, or back into the range. Those are the scenarios to go through, and then we get to the proper setup, number 4. And then why are you trading this setup? Well, you just went through the process. You'll select it, you go through your checklist, you'll know your checklist, you'll grade it, and you'll determine the risk and sizing you want to put on. Look at the order flow and Bookmap to execute and manage your trade. That is the process in here. Let's go through some disclosures and we'll jump in. General disclosure: all Bookmap limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so welcome everybody, and let's see here. I got David. Did you put in a Notion file? I didn't see it.
No, I wasn't on the list, sadly, or
Okay,
fortunately, whichever.
okay.
Yeah, and then Dan asked me to look at one a little bit later on in the day, but sadly, I was out and about when that
Right,
CTA came in. So
right. Okay, okay. And let's take a look here. Got one from see Shark Baloo, and he is a coach as well for the pilot program. So right, we'll start off here and then go on forward. So let's bring him to the stage. There you are.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
Doing well, doing well. Shark, let's see here. I don't think we went over this trade yet. This was for just the other day. So no, this would be new content. And why don't you walk us through?
So as I have been lately, I was looking for the low volume pullback. And we kind of see that in these tight ranges. So I did get into a trade. If you see to the left, I took a short.
Right here.
Yeah, you know, I didn't draw the structure or anything on that one, but I did see that little pullback there. Very little buy volume. I entered on the break back below, on the break back at the pivot, exactly. I entered on the break back at the pivot, and I did not. Typically, I'll chase my position with a stop, and then when it rolls over, it'll knock me out. And in this particular case, I just let it roll over and go back to my stop. Yep. And I made a note in my text. I said, when my position is a couple ticks from my target and it rolls over, cut it, because that was not fun to look at afterwards.
Yeah, I'm
So
sorry. I'm
so
sorry. It just when
no, I laughed myself.
um
Um,
uh
s-
go on.
so
I'm
then
sorry.
comes the trade. Then comes the trade that I actually posted here. I just decided to trade that range. Sellers are obviously in control here. There's a lot more red than green. I decided to just trade the range from top to bottom. So you see my next entry, my re-entry at 1. I just marketed in when price got back up to the top of that range, and I saw pressure on the CVD VPI, and I just entered there and took the position back down to the low of the range.
So it looks like maybe you got out some here
Yeah, I
and
took a
then
single out there.
right. Okay.
So take a look at that, Bruce. This was kind of amazing. The price flick, that was a really fast flick, that green dot where the green arrow is pointing. No, to the
Here.
next one.
Yeah.
Yes. What is this? Price flick through my stop and did not trigger. Like, that was a really fast flick, and it penetrated my order by 2 ticks, maybe 3 ticks. Like, it went through it. It was just super fast, and that order did not trigger.
Huh. That is weird. Um,
So it worked out.
huh, okay. So was this in a demo account or was it uh
Slide over to the right. Can you slide that any further to the right, or is that
sure.
all we
Yeah.
have?
Yeah, it says live real.
No, yeah, no, that was in my account. So
Oh,
that
wow.
was, maybe there was so many orders in the book that it just never made it to my order. That flick was
Yeah.
super quick.
Yeah, that's possible, I guess. I don't know. I mean, sounds like an anomaly to me. Uh if well, I mean, maybe we'd have to take a look at the details. You'd have to really zoom in and take a look. You'd be
And that,
surprised. Like maybe it did flick through it, but no transactions took place up there. I don't know. Because if a transaction takes place and this is a stop, then that should turn into a market order.
yeah, absolutely.
Now, if it's a
But
market limit, I don't think so. You wouldn't have been hit. But if it's a market stop, it would have been slipped.
yeah, it's a stop limit.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
But I mean, it was like millisecond, just flick right through. And that green dot looks like it's actually below the order line.
Yeah, yeah, it could. I mean, you really got to zoom into the microstructure. I
And
mean, like
I'm
sub-second levels.
I should have been more inquisitive, and I should have just zoomed way in and looked, but I was a little flabbergasted. And I typically don't trade market on close either. Like, that's just not my time frame. But that is right as we're coming into market on close.
Yeah, I can see the close over here. All the
Yeah, the
volume
bell's right after that.
picking up. Okay. Let's see here. Well, let me get the house in order first. Apologies. David, why don't you take off and go with it here while I get invite
Yeah,
some of the others
sure.
up to the stage here.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Well, nice to be back, guys. Apologies for my AWOL, and thank you, Bruce, for allowing me to go AWOL. And that nice to see some trading here. So I'm gonna have to bust the rust how I do my narrative. It has to be said here. Um, for me, I just look to the left here as always, but I look for the left hand side trading at that 12:30. That blip up on the volume on the red bar just before 12:30. That's the trade. I appreciate we're talking about the trades you've taken. If you go a little bit further to the left, Bruce, a little bit
This
further
is
left. There, yeah. Is that
12:30.
12:30?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I can barely.
Yeah,
I'm wearing
that's
glasses.
okay. Again, Captain Hindsight, obviously easy to talk about, but that there, and this chart here reminds me very much what we've seen today. And it might be like that for many sort of days and weeks and months, really, David, where any hesitancy in terms of getting into a trade, this is me when I'm trading, any hesitancy, I'm just going to get slapped. I'm going to get B slapped back because I'm waiting and waiting. And I think that's possibly where we were here, going from the 12:30 to the 12:35 of like, okay, we're coming down, the volume picks up, we've got that liquidity level, yeah, we're going to scoot down there, hang on, we're selling and we're going back up. It's that multi-market reminding ourselves that the index is made up of all those big tech shares that are zipping around, mixing the options that's going on with that bang, yeah, it's not always logical. And for me, like I was trading today, as soon as I see something, you know me, Bruce, as soon as I see something, I'm there. I'm knocking it out. I think that's possibly where you've struggled a little bit here, but easy for me to to criticize that. Remind me, do you look at other charts at the same time?
I look at NQ and the VIX futures,
Okay.
but I'm not looking at the tech stocks. I used to have a chart that was made up of the five biggest, and it was kind of compiled into one chart, but I no longer
Nice.
have that up. I do look at NQ and the VIX futures though.
Okay. That's
The
fair.
VIX
Yeah.
futures, I just chart the high and the low of the
Hmm.
previous day, and then if there's a big pivot
Yeah.
inside or outside of that range in the
Sure.
ETH, I'll slap a line on that too,
Yeah.
and just kind of keep an eye on that.
Yeah. No, that's worth doing for sure. For sure. I know, John, when I was doing my web, you asked me about the VIX. I not so much, but I have done, as contradictory as that sort of sounds. But there are some nice patterns here. There's no denying that at sort of 12:45. You got the vol picking up. You've got dare I say, if Jack was supporting me, we've got a failure of a sort of a lower high. You've got your number one, then you've got that number two area, and then in comes the red vol. That there for me is when I would have wanted to get in again. Back to a little bit to the left. Yeah, there.
Right.
I know it's easy me chart picking. And you can do this all day long. They don't need to know anything about trading. But that there, you got a bit of buying comes in. The selling comes straight back in at that level, which I guess is about 60, 83 and a half. There, off you go. Yeah,
You
it's
never
yeah,
grab that liquidity, David.
yeah,
I mean,
really
it got
didn't.
it got close down
Pull.
there at
Hmm.
1250,
Yeah,
but the close came in and price went up, and she never took that liquidity.
never took it. No,
Never
and
took it.
there's so much spoofing going on. I know I've talked about it in the past, and it's crazy what you see, John. I mean, John, you're on the mic, so good evening, great to catch up. You see it so much in the non-cash and the ETH, just some crazy numbers coming in,
Mhm.
and they come in for a while and they just disappear. It's just but it is what it is, David. It is what it is. Yeah,
Mhm.
I've rambled here, Bruce. I'm gonna have to throw the ball back to you, please.
I'm throwing it right back to John then.
To John. Okay. Well, good for you for being aware of where the VIX is. That's important, not on a tick by tick basis, but to be aware what the range is and what it's doing from day to day, because that's going to give you an idea as far as the daily climate, the intraday climate, and how that VIX is trading. Not a fan of the first short, kind of like what David was just talking about. I may have been in a little bit earlier,
Yeah.
like 12:33, something like that, that little pullback, but not down where you were. You're pretty far down the road as far as getting to that liquidity, and to build on what David was saying, I find it useful, not so much to look at the futures, but to look at the SPY and the QQQ.
Mhm.
It maps out the market very nicely, and oftentimes they'll have similar areas, plus or minus a few ticks. I can't remember this one, but lots of times I find that really trying to pinch down to that last little bit of liquidity. There could have been a lot of liquidity there on the QQQ or the SPY, and that's going to support that market. So just be cautious about trying to get so close to that liquidity level. I know what you were trying to do there.
I was hunting.
Yeah.
I was after something specific instead of
and
reading what was in front of me.
and you see what happened, Shark. It went up.
Yep.
It turned around real quick, and it got your stop. And well, you know what happened there. The rest of it, I agree with what's been said so far. It's not my ideal flavor. I like to see more broad, more pronounced looks of the liquidity levels. I know what you're trying to do as far as the low volume. Is this Eastern time, or what time frame is this? Is this
This is
noon?
Pacific Standard. This is right before the bell.
Okay. Okay. Ugh, okay. And just before the bell. Okay.
Not a
Um,
time frame I typically trade, but
not a fan of
there
that
I
time
was.
frame either. Yeah. Um, so, and that's what you get. You get kind of a mixed bag. You get a lot of positioning that's going on just before the open. So you're going to have this kind of thing, and you take on that risk. I think you did the best you could. What you had here. I just don't think it's the most opportune chart to trade. Is my view.
What do you think about that flick through the stop order?
I don't really know what to make. I don't know whether it was maybe a misprint, a scratch. It could have been a few things as to why you didn't get filled. It's really hard to say.
Yeah.
I think if you zero in, um, does Bookmap remedy scratches, Bruce?
Does it what?
If a trade is a scratch, will the MBO data correct that and will be corrected in Bookmap?
And I still don't
Like a mis-
understand.
like a
I mean, like
misprint.
if
Like a misprint. If you have
no, I mean we just record the data. It's on the chart. It's there. That's that.
yeah. Yeah.
So
I can go
I'm
back to that
imagine.
exact spot and replay.
Yeah, I'd take a look at it in more detail
Yeah.
and see what you get. I'm kind of curious, but I imagine probably the best offer went up through there, but nothing transacted. But I don't know.
Right. Right.
So yeah. Anyway, yeah, odd things happen at sub-second levels. So
Hmm. Yes.
maybe there's also a queue in the by the aggressor in there too.
Hmm.
So it's hard to determine. But I'm
Yeah.
curious, Shark. So
Yeah, it was like split blink of an eye flick and back. So I just figured there was more orders than could get filled or something.
yeah, yeah. Let's see. Trading is life. Come
Hello.
on. Hello.
Good afternoon, everyone. How's everybody doing today?
Congratulations on the blue jacket.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Now I'm official with you and John.
All right.
Thank you, Bruce. I appreciate it. I appreciate you and Dan. Um, I have a couple of questions for you, Shark, in regards to this trade. Um, Based on what Bruce been, teaching us in the nuances. Um, I see where you entered and then when you scaled in, but based on what I've been looking for, I don't see your impulse move. And
So this is not the low volume pullback. The first trade I was looking for that, but the trade that I have charted here is my point to point scalp. So I'm just taking it access trigger is my intention.
okay, I'm sorry. I was
And
looking
I
for. I
was
thought this
reading
was
the
a LVP, a low volume
yeah,
pull
no, and I was
for
reading
a trend line.
I
Okay,
kind of just read pressure on the CVD VPI price change divergence in my subchart. And that's what I was kind of going off of on that second trade, the one that's charted here.
okay, all right. So based on that, and then okay, so I see where your line is. I see where you should have got in based on that exhaustion all the way there, but then you waited to after. I guess this was a key level. This line that's going across, so you could enter the trade.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, what was your key level, Mark?
So that level there was VWAP. I don't trade the VWAP. Like I said, that first trade, I was hunting a low volume pullback.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for there. And no, I don't think I had all my criteria in place. I was trade hunting.
Okay, so
And
this is based on scalp. Based on what you've done, I think you traded well because I see after your VWAP, you waited for the bounce back to the VWAP. You used your VWAP as a support. Then you got in and you traded it to the top of the liquidity, and you got out. Then you got back in right before the VWAP of with the bounce. I think that was playing it. I would have waited till after it crossed the VWAP. Then I would have got back in if he was playing it to the downside. Yeah, right there.
yeah, see, so in that first trade, if I recall correctly, that first trade I lost 6 points. The second trade, I put back up 13 and change. So, this is me taking back what I lost in my non-low volume pullback trade, just based on my very basic point-to-point scalp idea.
Okay. But did you consider that as a low volume pullback? Because
I
it's
did not.
okay, because it's not.
I just came in there and I said I got an access trigger, take it
What was
and
your
take.
what was your train of thought? Because based on that, I mean, why did you get in before the VWAP? Because they could have used the VWAP as a resistance and bounce, and the trade could have went against you. I just want to know your thought
I,
process
I'm
with that.
I didn't even see the VWAP there. The thick green line is VWAP. I was looking to go from the top of the range to the skinny green line down there, which is a demand zone.
Okay, that's which
That
is
one,
your
yes,
level.
that was my target.
Okay,
VWAP
yeah.
just wasn't on my radar, and it is on the chart, but it wasn't on my radar.
I do that, buddy. Don't worry. I do
Yeah.
that a lot. It's
Okay. All right. Just just be mindful of the VWAP because sometimes it
Oh,
bounces up and it goes. The trade
it
could go.
really does.
So that's all I have. That's all I have to say about that. It's back to you, Bruce. Nice trade.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bruce.
Sorry about that. D&T, any comments?
No, no comments here.
Boy, I got a slew of comments, but I'll try to keep it really brief. Tark, I mean, I know for what you're doing with the low volume pullback. I think this is great. I mean, you recognize it. There is criteria here for it. It broke this little structure. It's already trending down, right? You're looking for a break. You're looking for the low volume pullback, which it did. And then there's very little buying. Sellers are in control. You wait a little bit more for a little bit more volume. It happens. You get in. I mean, I don't think it's a good scalp, but it's just you're just pressing the bottom edge basically, and that's fine. I mean, you can trade it down to here, or try to trade it down to this liquidity down here, which I know that was your target.
Yeah,
Uh,
I know that's why I didn't get out. I wanted that liquidity, and I was sure it was going to go there, and I know there is no sure
yeah, that's
in the
that's
market.
that's where like you just put that to break even, or take some off or whatever, because like if it does another low volume pullback, it'll likely do it here in this little range in here, right? Because it's kind of going back and forth in here. I can see this high, right? So if it goes back here, and then even this might here, it might fail, and then come back down. So you're still in it. But there's a lot of volume here, and it's kind of at the end of its little run here. We never know, right? But that makes this a much more risky trade. But for understanding that this is a scalp into these areas, and building confidence on this setup, which I know is what you're doing, I think you did great. Much
I
better
just let it.
than last
I
week.
just let it go. I just let it go hit my stop. That's me being tired. I don't trade the full session. I'm a 90-minute, 2-hour guy.
Love it.
I'm I don't know why I was still trading coming into the close. It's because I was hunting. I was hunting.
That brings up a bigger picture issue, of like, I'm kind of on the side of what Trading is Life is talking about, like kind of questioning what are you doing here? This is
I'm
very
trading outside my time
this
frame.
is very different than what we've seen before, and it's kind of a breakdown, undisciplined, like, just kind of taking shots at it, looking for it to work out. And it's much more random. I do not see a setup here. I know you're trading the range, but we don't know how much demand is here, and if it does something like this. Uh, and I'm okay. I mean, there's some nice. That said, I mean, there's some nice structural things in here, all sorts of things that look pretty good about market structure, which we've been talking about in the webinars. So we're in a range bound, or we've been in the profit taking mode here, and the markets have been selling off, and there's pressure to the downside. And you're looking at ranges, and you're looking at there's sellers more in control here, and that's good. The is a question of like, how do you want to trade the range, if you are interested in that, and some of the market structure things in here. There's a lot of stuff to look at, but I think maybe we'll cover it more in the webinars. But there's a line going across right here, and that here's sellers, here's buyers, and then it's kind of interesting to see some sellers here. I would look for it to trade back down here at this point, and yet you get this back and forth down here in this area, and it chops around again. This is also time of day.
Yep.
It sat in that range for a long time, Bruce, like an hour and a half.
Yeah, yeah.
Just flatlined up there.
And then it's like, do you want to trade in that environment, and do you have clarity in that environment, especially near the close, as John was
Yeah, no clarity here. That's why I let that roll over and take my stop. And then that second trade, I drew up, I posted it, I shared it. I love the feedback. That's me taking back my 6 points. That wasn't my trade setup.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, to be honest, like, I'm glad we're going over something like this, and just like my kind of outlook on this is, what if these were losses in here? You could have a bad day, and or bigger losses, and a few without that kind of clarity, then you can turn something into kind of then it starts to also affect your psychology, and it turns it into this downward spiral.
Exactly.
And this is, you're in control of this. You know better. You know better in this. I mean, you've been.
Oh, I know better than to even be in the market at
exactly
12:30. That is not my time frame.
So this should, you should, I think it's really good to go over this, and I hope I'm not being too harsh, but this should be avoided.
Absolutely.
And you will be a much better trader. You'll have much better, first off, you have much better discipline. You go like, I'm not getting involved in that. And then secondly, your P&L is just going to be much better. my opinion.
No, I agree.
Okay, let's see. That's everything. Anyone else on any follow-up comments or?
I'm thinking 200 push-ups are in order.
Reps and sets. Single arm.
I agree. Shark should know better. He keeps saying my 6 points. Sound like he was a little bit doing a little bit revenge trading.
Yeah.
Want to
No,
get
no,
rid
yeah, that's that. Like I said, that's coming into the end of the session. I never, I sit at my desk for the entire session, but I'm done trading in the first 90 minutes or 2 hours. I don't trade. I don't trade power hour. It's rare I trade power hour. I'll find some stuff that I want to come back to and study and replay, but I typically don't trade after 9:30 a.m. my time, which is an hour-ish after the London close. That's where I pretty much draw the line. Here I'm tired. Hunting a specific setup, and then I take a loss in it, and then I want my 6 points back. And I did get it back, but it was with bad behavior. That's called UTB, unprofessional trading behavior.
Well,
Even
yeah,
more reps.
it reinforces it too.
Yeah.
That's the
Because I got it back,
because
right?
you got it back.
Yeah.
So you're going to do it again. And so I mean, look, I know you know where I'm coming from, Shark, and I'm that you not you know that I mean well. I'm not trying to be hard.
Oh no, absolutely. It's why I shared this.
Yeah. It's great. I mean, this is a really good one to go over because, like, I think the next level in the academy and the pilot program is exactly this, holding us accountable. And like, why did you trade during this time? Like, this avoiding these two trades here. Well, like I said, I didn't have a problem with this one as exploration of the, you know, and building reps for your new setup. But as we're maturing in the academy here, this is a part of it of like going over things like this and then rectifying it, because if we can fix this, like, I mean, all you need is one good trade a day, and like, you're doing great.
I am highly susceptible to euphoria, Bruce. So I know that's why I was still in the market. I had a good morning.
Nice.
I was feeling good, and I allowed my decision-making process to be hijacked by euphoria. That's the most dangerous of all the emotional baggage for me is
Yeah.
euphoria.
Free drinks in the casino there, I feel. And canapes and all the rest. Yeah, okay. I'll stay another hour. Okay.
But I spend a lot of time in my intraday journal going over this stuff, so that's what this is all about, this particular green shot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for sharing, Shark. I think we got a lot out of it. Sure.
Thanks everybody, I appreciate it.
Cheers, buddy.
All right, let's move. Okay. Steven, this is from Coach Moby. You up? All right, Steven, all yours. Let's take a quick look at it here. Come on.
Were these sent out?
What do you mean?
The Notion files? Sorry.
Well, these are assigned to the coaches. Oh, okay. You cannot come up tonight. Okay. Well, we can go over it. Take a while here. These are so detailed. You got all sorts of trades in here. I don't know what's what here. So it looks like maybe, I don't know if this was your long, your limit. This is your out, your back in. I don't know what's going on. I see another trade here, and then I see 3 here. Let's see. Enter short. I guess this is the one you. Yeah. Okay. Stop up. Took some off down here. Here and
Beautiful.
I don't know, Stephen, if you can't come up, maybe text here, like would good to hear.
Yeah.
What was the decision to add into this here? It's like 4 actually, right? So or no, I'm sorry, this is probably out of back in again. This is hard to read. I know that these are short.
Yeah.
And I know
Yeah.
that these
Okay.
are take profits here. So and then your final take profit. Okay, so you did get in 4. Yeah. All right. See, you had take profit. Sellers failed to stop it. Okay. It's hard to know kind of your decision making process. What is it you're looking at? Why is it the have a high volume node zone up here? Not really sure. Uh, anyway, and especially like my biggest concern would, or my biggest question would, like entering in here as this is going against you. Did you scale in like 1 or 2? Is this full? Is 4 contracts a full position, or 4 entries your full position? If you got in here and it went down, would you only get a quarter profit? My question, because this is how. Well, I always found this is how I blow my account out. Is doing stuff like this, and yeah, without having any sort of like or not conviction, but like a confirmation. Basically, there's more selling in here, but it's kind of just going sideways here. Volume bars, and then I do see lower volume, so there's going to be divergence in here. But this starts to look pretty good. I'd like to see a little bit more in the volume dots, understand what's happening. That's as good as feedback as I can give. David, I don't know. I got to
Yeah.
throw it over to
Thanks.
you.
Thank you, sir. Cool. I've just asked Stephen in the chat if this is the London close of 11:30. If it is, that would sort of chime with a rally up, bit of stagnation. London's closed, Europe's closed, and then we start selling down, and the volume picks up. It's a great trade. It is a great trade. I know that states the obvious, but really, I like the way you've added in, Stephen. The way you feel this is the trade. It might be that time as that day and everything else, and you've held out. So no, respect. EST, yeah, it is London close. There is. So classic London close. Yeah.
Okay.
And we've seen this sort of price action today and over the past few days. Yeah. Rallies up, you think, okay, we're going back up, stagnates, and then brutal sell off with the odd sort of blip, as we can see at 8. But yeah, well held.
Okay. Anything else, David?
No, that's yeah. It's nice to see, Stephen, because I know when we've seen some of the trades before, they've been a bit here and there. It seems like you really are. You've got the trading business rhythm working very well here. So respect.
Throw it over
Yeah.
to John.
This range in here is a no-no for me. With liquidity above at 6,900 and well-mapped liquidity down at 6,890, I have a 10 handle range in here with a lot of liquidity on both sides. No real imbalance either way. So I would need to wait for a break before I even participated. So I would just let this trade out.
Yeah.
So I would not be in here. So I really don't have a view about what you did in there because I just try to avoid these trading ranges with so much liquidity above and below. If I did anything, it would need to go up to 6,900 and fail. Take some liquidity out and fail so that I could put my stop outside of this range. I mean, you're putting your stop right in between your entry and liquidity, which is the second no-no for me. So I'm sorry, I just don't have anything else to say because we're in this range that I've defined as a non-go for me.
But that's the beauty, John, isn't it, of like us as traders and like you and I, where I got to use the golfer here, Bruce. We're playing the same course, and yet
Yeah.
we're playing it in a different way. It's
Yeah.
great. It's
Yeah, we're
beautiful.
watching the same movie for sure.
We are. We are. Yeah,
You know,
I love it.
but want to pull back to VWAP after it breaks out, but I would just need to see something. Otherwise,
Yeah.
until that volume eases up on both sides, you could stay lateral like that for forever, and
You could.
that's
Yeah.
just too much risk for me.
Yeah.
I just don't see any daylight.
No.
All right. Well, let's turn it over maybe to Shark.
I do like the golf and movie analogy, guys. That's fantastic. Um,
Love it.
as far as the trade, just 35 handles top to bottom is awesome. That's I don't have anything else for the trade though. There's a lot going on in there. Good trade though, Steven.
Yeah, but there's 35 handles, but where do you get in, and how do you justify it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
How about trading his life?
So yeah, I'm kind of with Shark on that one. Unless he was up here to explain some questions that I have, is like too much going on. It seems a little busy to me, so I don't have no comment. I'm just gonna let this one slide. Just send it over to you or D&T.
DNT.
Hey, sorry about that. No, I don't have too much to say. I like to set it and forget it. He didn't touch his take profits. He didn't touch his trail stop until later. He probably just walked away. That's sometimes a smart thing to do when you got
Yep.
something going. You probably got some risk off and just left and let the trade work out. So it's pretty much that's all I got. It's nice to do that and not be so worried about your trade and just kind of let it do its thing and just walk away and do something else. Work on whatever you want to work on, free your mind up. Come back later.
Okay. All right. Well, it's a pity, Stephen, you can't come up. Would love to hear
Definitely.
that mic up for you, and that's a big part of what this is all about. And great to get the very diverse just feedback.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like you said, David. I mean, like we're all in the same course, but we play it totally
Different. And that's a lesson to all new traders, old traders as well. Can I pull a thread here, Bruce? Can you just nip into the chat and pull up the wheat chart that I've just posted? Sorry to go slightly sideways, but Stephen's talking rightly. He's on ES, he's on NQ, and he's now looking at a bit of forex of euro dollar. I've been doing a fair bit on breakfast commodities again as a spot gamma. Ladies, we'll see. this chart again from today, Bruce, and this is like some of the ones we talked about when you and I did the Webby a month back or whatever. Just look at the vol bars here. So we've got this is the cash open here. So I'm on UK time zone. Just look at that when it's coming in. It's opening, and all you've got is red. There is a little bit of ice dancing around. You've got low liquidity. There's liquidity at the top at the 43 level. I know it's kept in hindsight, but this was such a glorious, simple trade to get into and to add into. And the thing with wheat, it's a deep market. You know, the liquidity in some of wheat and corn is bigger than ES. So you can, if you want to, you can spank in quite a lot, says me. Anyway, just that was within Stephen's thread. Sorry, Stephen, I've hijacked your thing. So yeah, back to you, Bruce.
Yeah. I mean, so what you're talking about, David, here is your confirmation of really looking at the volume here.
Very much.
And
VPA.
and I think that was a lot of what John is saying is like, well, what kind of confirmation do you have in here? Not just volume. If you took the heat map off, like you have in here, it's hard it's hard for me to decipher. I do like this in here quite a bit. Here's this swing, right? We can kind of go. I mean, market structure is just amazing. You can go kind of across here. Here's your break, here's your pullback to it, and if we take a look from that down, there's your low volume.
Yeah.
I don't know how many points this is, but it like what is let's just take a quick. So I don't know, 92.5 down to the first swing down here to let's say 88. So that's like four points. That's enough. It's usually three. More than three S&P points is moving outside of the range, and especially if it starts to establish itself out there. You've got the back here.
Yeah.
This is really nice. In
The
fact,
key for me, Bruce, sorry to chip across again, is that time of day.
Yeah.
So when I was enthusiastic about this trade is because you've just got to London closed, which typically can be a reversal of some sort. So 180, where it's been rallying up into that close, that European close. London traders have left, then we start to come down. If it wasn't London close, I'd be more in the camp of John, I think.
Yeah. There's another thing too, like check out this. So everything's hunky dory. You nailed it. Here's your low volume pullback after it breaks the range, blah blah, and then look at this spike. All the way back up into you'd probably if you took the low volume pullback, you'd probably be in here someplace and at a loss or stopped out at that point, shaken out. I don't know what that was, but this is why, I like to take some profits along in some of these areas in here. And Stephen, I think you did a really great job on that. So taking profits along the way in some nice areas, targeted areas, swing lows and see IB low. Again, I'm not a big fan of it. I see the swing. I know there's going to be action down there, and especially if there's liquidity down there. And in fact, that's the kind of stuff that makes up the IB. But anyway, okay. I think if any more comments, if not, we'll move to the next one and see. There is this. Oh yeah, you're right, Stephen. I'm sorry. We have it here, and ENT. You want to look at the file from Moby? Yeah, let me get that. Hold on. The link. Share it, guys. I'll get them all. Just a second. Just going to put it in the regular chat here. It's in the Bookmap Academy regular chat from Okay, so this would be that first pullback in here, Stephen. Is it? No, this is a different. Oh, this is let's see, 68 is this here, 68. Okay, I see. Okay, so you did see this as a pullback kind of this area. Right. Boy, I don't know. I still would say the same thing, Stephen. And things really picked up in here. Very hard from my view to read some of that of what's going on.
Here, I just posted the trade. So I not his trade, but I was on the long side when he was taking. I had a
Cool.
long going into his shorts, and I was anticipating it to go higher, like what we were saying earlier, Bruce. You don't really know what's going to happen in that chop, right? So when you have just like a consolidation, and I mean, you could pop out the top, and I was anticipating it to go. I was anticipating it to pop out the top, and this is the one where I actually posted some warning signs against my short, or I'm sorry, against my long, and there were a couple warning signs which made it really nice. Go to the next image. Okay, yeah, there you go. So these were the warning signs here against my long, and this is the long. This is the short, basically, that so in this chop, Steven was looking at shorts, and it looks like he might have got, I don't know, like what he was doing inside of this chop here, but it looks like the short was a pretty good call based on the strong selling volume, liquidity growing underneath. So liquidity is growing on the bid there at 80, and it can't break the zone. This VPOC, this yesterday's VPOC, like 3 times. So it tried once, tried twice, and a third time, and then it breaks below, and then it actually does do a nice pullback to that structure. And yeah, and then something that I missed, but it actually had pretty nice structure if you're able to see it. And you can see the on the breakout, on the third test and rejection, where I have that third arrow, it actually, you see sellers start to grow on that pull as it pulls out of that horizontal structure there, and then it actually pulls back to it, and then fails completely out.
So here,
Those triple testings, we've seen it. I keep saying today. You see those three. You saw it in the London session. I mean, John, you may have been on that. When it was dipped down, it was low. There was 3 kisses of the low before it then scooted up 40 plus points into the cash open. I don't know if there's such a thing as a triple bottom, triple top. There probably is, Bruce.
oh yes,
Yeah, this
Just
was
a-
a good
just-
one
just
because
a
it
little
was
Not about double, triple.
it was a really good long, and I was anticipating this thing to extend out, and when it doesn't, it's like it's a warning. It's like, well, this is like an A+ trade kind of falling back on its face, and everybody else that got long kind of were at lower down, and depending on the sentiment and the market, etc. This was a Halloween day, so a kind of crazy day. Yeah, good stuff. It's nice to see the structure up close, though, like this image here, and the warnings. The warnings here show it. Like, the consolidation's hard to read sometimes, but once you see like that hitting that level, boom, 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 and that sell the sellers just really hitting it. And then finally, after the third rejection, the sellers just come in, kind of just blasting through that structure, and the liquidity growing beneath it too. It's like on the bid at 80, really just kind of sets it up really nicely there.
Yeah, I mean, I know, John, you would say like you would see this down here, and be targeting that after you saw, the conviction in something in, uh,
Yes.
you would probably be, I think we this line kind of across and say like, okay,
Mhm.
does the volume pick up? Yes.
Yes. Mhm.
Is this volume here lower? Yeah, more. It is. There's more sell volume in this area than there's buy volume. And looking for the break of that and then the target.
Yes.
So there are. I mean, okay, this is again David, back to David and Captain Hindsight here.
Mhm.
We should come up with the blue. There's the blue jacket hoodie, and there should be the Captain Hindsight cape. That's
From
next.
caps. Yeah, from lids.
So,
Lids can do one.
yeah, yeah. But every time it came up here, look at right. Every time it came up here, look at the volume. Like you highlighted the volume here, right?
Yeah.
So there's more sellers here, right? There's not a lot of conviction on that buy side in here. I'm not looking for this to break out. Now, that said, there's tons of times when I've seen it over here, it does pick up, but it didn't, right? Didn't. I don't see, there's this a cluster down here. That's it. And then up in here though, there's just probably one big volume dot, or one transaction. Not enough. It's not building that weak top here, and that cup and handle, whatever it is, like that you're looking at. You're not getting it. That's and the liquidity is adding more as every time it comes up here. So there's some telltale signs in here, to be looking for. Short down below, just things in hindsight.
Yeah, yeah.
Just want to preface that.
Nothing wrong with those.
I don't know. Let me open it up for Shark. Trading his life.
I remember when you posted this. This is the. I sent you a brief message. No, I really liked this screen. The warnings, fantastic work. It's what did I call it in the chat? This is exceptional information. This is stuff that we need to be able to read in real time and then use on the spot, right? Adjust the plan on the fly, use that information. So I really liked this post.
Yeah, I think it was actually, if I remember, Shark, it was another one. And D&T, you actually posted it during the All Markets webinar. Tons of liquidity came in, like levels and levels of liquidity came in. Let's see if I can. That was fantastic. And oh yeah, here. It's not it. Yeah, here it is.
I mean, to catch these things in real time, if
It's
when I'm trading, I get a little emotionally heightened, and I have to be able to read the story or the narrative of the market, trade what I'm trading, see what's in front of me, not what story I want to tell,
right.
and trade it accordingly rather than trade what I want to trade. So I really liked that warning.
Is this? I think you were warning DNT, something like this. This whole area, I guess, down here. And yeah, it was this. I remember this because I was like, well, there's still a lot of momentum in here. I know it's trading into your high liquidity along the way, and then finally it popped through here, and then it broke. This is a nice setup. Nicely done. So at this point here, I thought we would trade back up into this area here. I thought there was still more momentum in this kind of trend move. And then I forget what time this is down here, but another kind of range bound down to here, and then but it broke, and it just kept, there's no pullback, there's no nothing. This is why that trend line break and accumulation, when it gets kind of overstretched like this, you won't get this, you won't get the head and shoulders. Get
That's
that.
Donkey's trade, Bruce.
The Anshin or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Anshin.
that's the Anshin exhaustion. That's
Yeah.
Donkey's trade.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I think what I really like DNT is the same thing that Shark is saying, that the using Bookmap. What is it telling you? What how can we use this to our advantage in here? And this is telling us, something. And then trading up into these areas in here. And this is exactly what John looks for too. If there's a key level up, in fact, you probably even something more aggressive if it's a key level.
Yeah, that was.
Here's
go ahead,
here's your break of small structure, and here's volume pullback right there.
Yeah, but not with that liquidity just above.
Yeah.
So that last trend line, I would not be doing that. And I thought he did a great job. The trader did a great job by not doing that because of that liquidity is above. Now, if that liquidity is not above, and it's the same, we don't have any values here, any prices, but without that liquidity above, then yes, I would have been drawing that trend line and doing what you just suggested, Bruce, but I wouldn't have because of that liquidity above. I would have waited right where he entered. I thought it was really a great decision right in there. Absolutely. It was a good placement of that trend line because of that liquidity is still above. I think that's important with this trade. And that's how liquidity helps you, especially with that imbalance of liquidity coming in below. That's your telltale.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I think DNT, I don't think I remember right. Like it didn't quite get there. You had a target. Yeah. Here, this is your target.
This actually did. Yeah. Well, see, my original target was the VWAP, and I even front ran it too, and I still got one ticked. It missed my exit.
It still
And-
missed it. Damn it.
but it did flush through this liquidity, and then it trended lower later. This was where it gap closed this day. It closed the
Okay.
gap,
Okay.
and then it flushed after it closed that gap. It actually missed it by I think a tick or something, but it pretty much failed. And then, but see, yeah, you were right about that strong momentum, hence that strong uptrend, and then it starts to fade off, starts to exhaust a little bit, and then it does that nice pop into that previous high. I'm sorry, previous low. Was it yeah, I think this was the previous low. So the gap closed, and then it flushes. Yeah, so I see you're talking about that aggressive structure at the very high, and it missing it by one tick. Yeah, I mean, if you were anticipating it to go back, yeah, it's yep, I see this. I know exactly what you're saying though. It's all Bookmap really provides good deep insights into this stuff. And if I have zoomed into that image that we're looking at here, or where the high is at, we see some really good activity if we were to review this trade. I think this was I forgot what day this was. You might be able to zoom out, and it should be at the top if you scroll up a little bit with your wheel.
Yeah.
There you
This
go.
was just the other day. So Tuesday. Yeah. Tuesday.
Yeah. So if we were to zoom in, we'd probably see some really nice stuff there.
Yeah, I was convinced that we're gonna hit this high liquidity here because there was momentum. There was still more volume. Out of this little range, thought we had it. Nope, doesn't hit it. This is pretty hard here.
But you see where he keyed in on not only the trend line break, but also the volume coming into the market as he marked
Yes.
below on the volume bars. So
Yeah.
those two together working was a strong signal
Yeah.
to get short, which he did, which I thought was a great read.
This DNT, this is great. This is great stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, like, you kind of objectively sat back, read this, put the pieces together, saw an opportunity, took it, some risk.
Yep.
Did just great. So
Oh man.
really, really nicely done. And on top of that, your markups are really fantastic. I mean, this is like kind of architectural or something. They're really clean and clear.
Oh, I got that. Thank you, thank you. I know like Slowdown had like phenomenal
Yeah.
markups. Everybody's got some really good markups, man. It's like crazy. It's hard to compete with these guys.
Yeah. Well, like, you probably find. I mean, I know John, you've admitted it. 'Cause I quoted Slowdown a while back and saying like, he found that cleaner, the more kind of effort he put into this with his markups, the more he learned and more precise he got. So really kind
And
of
I,
like practicing your backhand shot or whatever it is, sports analogy
mm,
or whatever it is. So
can I
anyway,
can I mention something?
yeah.
Okay, I wanted to mention something. So like I took the long and so if we go back to the other image, if you go left, um
This one,
go left. No, actually, it wasn't these ones. It was
this one.
this one here, the warnings. Yeah. So okay, for everybody that's, I think I posted it in the academy and the Bruce's channel, in the pilot channel. But I had a tough month on October. I gave back a lot of points. I gave back a lot of points. Like, and this is a great example of it. Um, and so I'm going. So that's why I went through and did these mistakes uh and trying to see, like, kind of zooming in and seeing like how I can maybe trail better or something like that. And previously we had actually talked about like my trailing strategies, but after the month end review of October, I gave back a ton of points. So really reading these mistakes and kind of change like seeing where I can improve, like my trailing strategy or my take profit strategy. um really you really wish I had done it sooner, but I mean, when these things come about, we learn as we go. And that's kind of like really nice to really only have one strategy because it makes it easier to do. So I
Well,
was able to look back, yeah, and just see like, what am I doing here? Like, what is going on? Like, how can I make this better for myself here?
that's really, really great to hear because like uh, one strategy, you know what you're looking for, you're focused, you know what it is, you know it extremely well, and you know what it is like. This is, I think, really important is you know how to lose.
That's it. Yes, exactly what I was gonna say, and I forgot. Thank you for reminding me. You need to take that L. You need to be okay with taking that loss sometimes. Yeah, you're 100% right.
And that's where, like, we were going over sharks earlier, and not beating up on shark. I'm not beating up on you. But if you take those out and you only take the good ones, or if you take a bad one, you get out pretty quickly. Then um, your P&L is going to reflect some pretty, much better performance.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, absolutely. You're 100% right there. Like, it's okay if I had got stopped out on this trade, as long as I have like a plan. You need to sit down and like actually make a plan for your stops, and don't change it mid trade. You're drunk on the all these chemicals that are going through your body when you're in the trade, you know, but you sit back and kind of make a plan. So I sat back and made a plan. And, in certain environments, when, in like positive gamma environments is kind of what I determined. I'm going to start being a little more aggressive on my trails because it's common for the market to mean revert in positive gamma environments, and I need to be okay with taking a scratch or a trail stop and it continuing to go on. But yeah, if you have a kind of make a plan for those trail stops, and it makes it a little bit easier. But changing it mid trade, and I keep doing it, it's a habit, so it's something we all are kind of trying to figure out. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure all of you guys have comments on some of this stuff. I don't know. Why don't someone just go first? Trading's Life, we haven't
I'll
heard from you.
No, I mean, this was a beautiful trade. His markup is spectacular, the way he marked it up. I can see clearly, I can see where he entered the trade. I mean, he said, kind of held on a little bit too long, but
Yeah.
I have no comment. It's just a beautiful trade.
How about Shark? Throw it over to you.
I agree with you, DNT. Once you're out of the trade, you can think clearly, come up with a new plan. Better to take the small win or the small loss, get out of the trade, recalibrate on a clear head.
Mm-hmm.
And David.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I would just echo sort of P&L analysis. I put my hands up. I don't do it as I used to do, but I think back, Bruce, when I started doing this sort of 10 years back, when I'd be printing things out, and exactly what you're talking about. I'd be looking at a particular trade, thinking, "Gee, if I hadn't done, why then? WTF did I do that?" And a lot of those trades were often on gold. And yeah, if I'd got out earlier or hadn't taken that, gee, and I can remember talking to other people showing it, well, and then put it on a spreadsheet and going, actually, if I didn't do that, I'd have this amount of money. And it is a hard lesson, but worth doing. Definitely worth doing, for sure. And it's different to journaling, Bruce. For me, anyway, it's different to sort of writing up your trades. It's that cold, necessarily with a beer, just looking and thinking, God, come on, you can do this if you stop doing that.
So the beer kind of numbs the pain, though.
Yeah, I got a wife beater at the moment here, Bruce. As Danny Ocean will understand what I'm on about.
John, I know you'll have something good to say here about this. There.
John left. He says he'll be right back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So let us know when you're back, John. But again, like, this is the role of the academy in here. As we're progressing. So we can come in here and debrief some of these things and go, like, without
John's back.
Oh, John, you're back. Without being offended, just go, what were you thinking? But anyway, John, I would imagine you had some comments on this discussion and about trade management, not taking trades, taking losses, etc. Up to you.
Sorry, I disconnected for a minute. I had somebody come here. I'm sorry, I kind of disconnected from the conversation.
Oh, no problem.
I'm sorry. I'd be at a loss to kind of come in at this point. I'm sorry about that. I had somebody come here.
Okay. Well, it was more about, like, holding or learning from the losses. The hard reality. Going back, studying those, holding yourself accountable, learning how to lose, and knowing your setup really, really well, so you know how to lose properly. Anyway, that was what we were.
Yeah, that just goes to detailing your charts, and being able to do that instantly in real time. So your review, it should match your trading plan, and that should match your execution. And I think that's paramount. That's always been my approach, a three-step approach. I would review what I did, I'd plan, and then I would execute. Those three tiers, and that was a daily cycle over and over again. And that's how I've been able to refine what I want to do and what I'm looking for in real time. And I don't consider anything else. It has to look like what I planned and what I've reviewed from previous sessions.
Yeah.
And then if I want to change something, if I want to add something different. You know, that's like the second string players. You bring those forward when they're tested and ready. But when I start out the day, I know exactly what I'm going to do based upon my review from previous days. So I think it all falls back on the charts.
Yeah. And, you know,
Markets.
just something on that, like what you're talking about there, John, is from your experience of spending time with it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, okay, you can understand like, oh, here's how someone else does this setup or that setup, but you're going through it, you're understanding it, you're making it your own,
Yep.
and you know your setup,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to trade that the next day, and you're going to review it the next day after that, and recalibrate it.
Yeah.
So that's again, like I'm convinced. Everyone talks about back testing. They talk about you know, building your edge and using doing it you know, with automatic systems, etc. You're out of the picture. Not, you might have numbers, but you just don't know what it looks like,
Right.
and you can't put those pieces together. This is something JTrader is excellent at for years.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, you got to do the hard homework.
Mm-hmm.
That's something.
It makes a big difference. Anyway, guys, let's if there's no other
Can I
comments,
say one more thing?
yeah.
Okay, so that brings to a very good point, which is something that I haven't really been told to do. Kind of crazy because we shouldn't be told to do this, but the thing with like trading as retail traders is we aren't really told a lot to do. We kind of grab things here and there from YouTube videos, from one mentor and another. But something like that every retail trader needs to be doing is they need to be doing like end of week reviews and end of month reviews. And in these reviews we need to be doing them like consistently. And if we're not doing that, it's really difficult to like see what we're doing right, to do what we're doing, to see what we're doing wrong. You can't really measure yourself if you don't have anything to measure against. Like you don't really see what you're doing. And so like this is an important aspect of our trading that I think like that the pilot program really has been helping me get better at, and something that I have not been disciplined enough to do in the past for a long time. And but this is something that, if you're listening to this and you're not doing this, it's really difficult to make any adjustments if you're not measuring yourself and seeing what you need to adjust. It's just like you're kind of just doing it to see if you can do it. But we're trying to get better. And it's just something that I wanted to mention because it seems like it's obvious, but it's really not.
Do we have a trade from the pilot program to discuss?
Yeah, I do. Wanted to kind of take a little bit of, not a break from it, but like, have
Okay.
less in there on it, because like um one of the things that I like about the Bookmap Academy is it's anything. And
Yeah.
then there's other things in there that we learn from that, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's an interesting perspective or outlook on something. And uh, so that was my thought.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
I think I mean we'll see like what these things kind of morph into, like what DNT just mentioned
Hmm.
is critical, like having these kinds of like end of day, end of week, end of month reviews, or and I would love to be able to do it. I don't know. I don't have the bandwidth to do all these
No.
different things, but we can still set these things up though, and
Oh
run
no,
through
these
them.
are
We all have to be. It's kind of tricky though because we all have to be on the same page. That's
Yeah.
why the
oh
the
you're
the
slammed, Bruce. You're
it,
doing too much, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know, I know.
These are things we do on our own and on ourselves by ourselves, and like we should be doing these things, and we should each be sitting down and then bring our value. If we find value in what our review is for this week, we can bring it out, post it, and see like what feedback we get, or see if anybody has advice. And do your deep dive into like what you're doing into your metrics every week and then every month, and then kind of see if how you can improve. Like these things really help and motivate each other, because one does it, it's like, oh man, he did it, she did it, I want to do it too, or it reminded me, I gotta get on it, or it's really motivating. It's hard to be accountable in a profession like this, but it is really motivating, and it is in itself like accountability in a way.
Well,
I just was hoping for a short segment of time that could be allocated to the pilot program because of its structure. There's a consistent structure that you can zero in on. So we're not getting off on these different kind of anything goes, but just a short period of time where we could revisit that structure. Because I'd love them because they serve as a drill for me. I'm looking for the same thing every time, whether it's bullish or bearish. I'm looking for that same sequence, and what I love about that trade is that you can see it develop.
time.
And then you can apply that to any strategy that the trader may have in addition to that. But I just think it's a great way to build that foundation of a systematic way of seeing the progression as the trade is developing, and then you nail it, you're on it. And then that's where I see the value of it.
Yeah. Now, thanks, John. I've seen some of your posts in there. They're incredible. I mean, they're like picture perfect. So, um, I mean, what you guys are mentioning, all these things, they're all, uh, quintessential elements of it. Keeping it really simple. So we're all speaking the same language. We know what it looks like. Then it comes down to the nuances. Also, creativity. Like DNT, I think you really kind of struggled with this. It's like, I kind of had to like I turned around and go, look, I don't want you to be creative here. you know, I'm not looking for ideas. I'm looking for following the plan. And then like you were like, oh, okay. And then look at you now, you know. And now you're following the plan, and the beauty is like there's actually tons of creativity you can put in with the nuances in here. It's just way more structured though, and you can um, use that. I mean, like from the design perspective, designing a chair or something like that is taking elements out, and the creativity comes from actually having less to work with. You have to find kind of ways to make it work. So we're kind of doing the same thing, just really taking everything off the chart, not being distracted, knowing exactly what we're looking for, and if it doesn't show, it doesn't show.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right.
100%.
Yeah, I think I beat that one to death.
Black and
Yeah.
white.
So
Nah.
let's move on here. And let's see. It's not the best image, but I want to show it. So trading is life. We've got one from on your low volume pullback, and I thought it was kind of hard to read because it's really kind of scrunched up here. But why don't you walk us through?
Yeah. Don't know why it came out like that. But yeah, as you can see, price was in a downtrend, was in a range. Then I had a low volume pullback once to the VWAP, and it went back down, started going back down trending again, went back into the range, broke the range again, impulse move out of the range into the low volume pullback right here. Soon as they got back into the range, I got in for a short. Yeah, that's the low volume pullback right there. Soon as switched the impulse move. Soon as they got back into the range, I got into a short position. Took it to the next liquidity right above the low of the day.
Beautiful.
6,800.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is such a simple setup. This is great, and you've got. I know you're bringing in your older studies here, which is fine. Like I think for this one, I don't have a problem so much having this on the chart. You're below VWAP, and there's volume below your structure. There's one thing that's a little iffy on this one for me would just be this volume here, but you know, I don't know how I would have felt about it, but you did nail it though. Like up here, it failed. There's more selling starting to come in. Your entry looks good. It's below this volume here, that big volume dot. That's great because now these guys were below it. You know, they're not supporting, and I would look for back down to the bottom of the range, and then you got more out of it. Very, very simple. I don't know. Just turn it right over to Shark, since you've been looking at the low.
Oh, I think it's a great example. I like the way you use your VWAP there too. You know, that's your key level from before we started the program. Your liquidity's gone, you get in. It's a fantastic example for me.
Yeah,
You know, I'm still working on understanding this and tracking it down, so I do appreciate it.
there is one thing too. I mean, it's actually quite important. Is over here. This now did it come from up above here? Um,
Yeah.
okay,
It broke. It
okay.
came from
Because
above,
I
broke the
mean,
VWAP.
okay, because it's important to know this is your impulse move, right?
Correct.
Okay, okay. Because
Then it
Shark,
pulled.
I would just be afraid that Shark might get confused of like I said, we're looking for, you know, range, a clear break, pull back to it,
Price discovery.
price discovery, right? And then a move back down, you know, take some off, maybe it, and then maybe it does that, you know, something like that. And that I could see how that can be confusing here actually, because it did do this back and forth in here. But if this is your low volume pullback, then this is kind of chop. But basically you are looking for the volume to come back in and go in the direction of first impulse move.
Off the trend.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Trading is life. May I make a recommendation?
Sure.
If you open up your chart on the x-axis, the vertical axis a little bit, some like a tight little trade like this might be a lot easier to annotate it so that to see clearly in the markup.
Okay.
Maybe give it a try, because you have a lot of room on top and a lot of room below your actual price action that you could use on the screen.
Okay. I'll
Give
take a
it a
look at
try.
that for next time.
Give it a try. See what you think. Thanks for sharing this.
Definitely. No problem. That's what we're here for.
Let's see, to DNT, since you've been looking into this too, I think.
I don't think I have much to say.
Okay. I don't actually, I can't remember if you've started marking this one up or not.
No, actually, no, not yet.
Okay. I
Uh-uh.
still haven't. I've been just kind of swamped. I need to put the criteria together.
No, I'm sticking with one for now. So.
Excellent, excellent. Let's throw it to David.
Love it. Though not a trade I'd have taken. So I'm going to do it like we had with John earlier on. Not enough volume on that for me to get in. I'm more interested to see what happened after 13, 15 and how it perhaps broke down from there. But great trade for sure. Nice points. And as a few of you said, the squeeze in of the axis sort of belittles what was quite a nice sort of haul of points from sort of 14, 15 down to the century level. So well done, well traded.
John.
On the last short, I can see why you traded it. I think you were fortunate to get down and get filled. I would have been happy getting down to that 0504 with liquidity being canceled at 6,800 right there. That would have canceled my interest.
So then
That's just about what
you'd be looking.
I'd be looking at taking it there. I would. Yes. Yes. Because if they're not interested, I'm not. That's kind of how I feel about that. But in general, very nice. And yeah, if the y-axis were bigger, you'd see a little bit better detail, I think, like what Shark was saying. But yeah, that would be my because that's a lot of liquidity, relatively speaking, and it was just canceled.
Yeah, yeah. And this is like a 14-point trade or so.
Yes, exactly.
It
So
is,
at 04, you've got a great trade there. So why, if they canceled liquidity below it evens, I just thought it was pushing it. But I'm glad it worked. But in practice, though, a lot of times that can go against you.
The reason why I stayed in it, look at the it was like another low volume. Look how the low volume,
In here.
dot was, the green
Mhm,
dot was right here, the
mhm,
little right above the liquidity. No,
mhm,
above.
Uh,
Above where it was kind, yeah, right there.
where
So I
here?
looked at that. Yes, yes, where you just put. I looked at that, and then I
mhm,
looked at the volume, and then there's three things that I looked at that made me stay in a little bit longer. I looked at it pulled back with such low volume.
mhm,
Then I looked at my delta, which my delta um was all sell.
mhm,
So I knew I could have got at least another tick or two out of it, and then so that's why I didn't get out when I saw that small pullback, because it was if it was a pullback with such a small volume, no
mhm,
volume there, my
mhm,
delta was still at sell,
mhm,
and look at the volume after that was a little bit more. So I know I probably would have got another tick or so, or at least to where
mhm,
the liquidity was, because they pulled that liquidity
mhm,
like when it was on the way there. But
mhm,
once it pulled that liquidity, then there was light liquidity there where you see the yellow. So I figured I could just get right above there and get out.
mhm,
That's where my thought process was.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah, I mean, this makes sense. I mean, there's always this kind of one little. I mean, for me, like I really like to see the this, and then a shallow pullback on it. Like again, it's hard to read this chart. This is why I was thinking, well, maybe I won't show it. But the this is strong volume, and then obviously this is less, and I would look for a shallow pullback though, like maybe half of that, and then look for uh, the volume to pick up again, and then hit this target down here. It didn't, and it still chopped for a while in here.
Yeah.
It but it could have maybe turned into this is something we talked about the other day, like on one of the webinars, where this turns into kind of like I'm making it look like it's a range trade, but it's more like a kind of a wedge or a breakdown, that after a big move to the downside, then you get this kind of chop, and then you get another big move to the downside. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this right in here actually turned into another potential.
Leg down.
Yeah. I don't know if did it trading his life, or is this I understand you want to you're getting, this was your target, you stayed with it, got it, understood. Maybe looking into something to consider as a nuance is, does it turn into this bigger pattern? And look for it, because man, I'll tell you, like when these kinds of things pick up here, they usually just go straight down.
Yeah.
And they're just beautiful. And
It's a century level, Bruce, isn't it, as well? Sorry, it's 6,800. So
yeah, exactly. And that's a tough one. I mean, a lot of times this goes like 10 points down and then breaks back up and then goes like that.
it does.
But anyway, this was opened up another discussion, which a very valid discussion about this low volume pullback, exactly kind of what it is, from the learning center, and the from in here, right? Because the low volume pullback is actually a small pullback in the bigger structure, but the bigger structure, like a wedge pattern in here, is basically it's the same idea. It just chopped. It's a lot bigger, and it chopped a lot longer. But usually you'll see a strong move, not too much volume, and then strong move again. And these can be just beautiful, beautiful moves. I mean, yeah. So there's actually one. There's the flag pattern with a failed breakout. There's two, and then I think there's another two. It's, failed. This one's a little different. This one, it actually does look like it's going to reverse. It breaks that structure, and it looks like, here's your shoulder, head, shoulder. Looks like it's going to go and go like this, but it doesn't. It rolls over. So what you end up getting is, sorry, getting is this. Instead, you get impulse move, chop, kind of failed reversal, impulse move.
Nice.
And these guys are the fuel that help drive it to the downside.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is a great one to look for when we have that first big impulse move.
Yeah. Seen these today, Bruce. Must have been 2, 3, 4 times, this sort of thing. It scoots down. Johnny came lately, they start buying it back up, and then wham, tether stops and down it goes.
Yeah, in fact, David, this is perfect, because it reminded me of what you were talking about earlier, about this is, this part in here is is from here to here is like a lot of times it's about 10 o'clock or 9:45 to about 11:15 or so,
Sure, into
and
the
then
London
then you get the the after, just before the London close, or maybe just after, then you get this beautiful.
Yep. Yes.
If we look at the post I just put in the Academy in our chat, that's actually Moby's first comment right there. It's kind of like that pullback, I think, that you just posted, that failed pullback thing that you just posted there. You have this, the market pulls down initially, and then it pulls back up, and then you see all that liquidity start to come in. It starts to build up, and then boom, and then it releases back again, back to the downside. I know maybe not the same trade, but his first comment was, we have a huge daily uptrend. We finally break to the downside, and then those like naked volume pointed controls on like a higher time frame, they start to become like big targets. So it releases, like what you're talking about. You could get that big move. You don't know it, but it could.
Yeah, that's when we.
So that's Moby's comment. That's
yeah,
Moby's comment.
It's great. It's great. And Yeah, I put it into a chat there or in the chat room, Academy chat room for take a look.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I highly recommend everybody go look at Moby's Notion files whenever they're posted, and maybe even go back and try to find them, because there's some gold nuggets in his Notion files for sure. All his comments are really good.
Yeah, very very thoughtful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's where you see volume come in to really catapult the market down.
Down.
Yeah.
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 Big time.
Yeah. That's your key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your key. And that keeps you out of all the hogwash. Yeah.
Mm.
This is where
So that was
Dave.
Big time.
Steven's trade from earlier that we
Yeah,
just reviewed earlier.
yeah. I can see it. It's this here. Again, though, I just didn't see any clarity in that
No.
at
No.
all. But anyway, this again goes into that high. I mean, this is like fractal stuff. And I know this is higher time frame fractals, but like if we take one more step back and we look at daily candles, we'll see it. You'll see like the move onto the upside, and then like maybe it does something like this, then it breaks, then it pulls back. That's your low volume pullback on your daily. You look for the down to here again, and you might get it, you might not. You might get the break depending on the sentiment out there, but you usually get it the next day or two and
So,
get the continuation.
Right, how it goes. Yeah.
And so this is that one that I had posted as well. So like Stevens and then mine, and he was on the short side of my long. And if we look at the last the comment that I circled right there that Moby did, if you look at the last sentence of that comment, he put, "I'd like to give this an example of a rolling over of a trend line break." Then more of, it's not like a clean break of the trend line, but it's more of like a rolling over, and that's exactly what we were kind of like looking at. And during that rollover, during that consolidation, all that liquidity starts to come in and just starts to like really muddy up that whole area. But and then you go to my image that we were just reviewed, you start to zoom in with Bookmap and you start to see all the nuances that I kind of pointed out in the warnings that I posted earlier. And so that's what that consolidation is right there, where all that liquidity came in, and then it rolled over.
Yep.
I don't know if that,
Good
pretty
stuff.
neat, pretty good stuff. Yeah.
Stuff. I mean, it's all there. And
Yeah. Yes.
if you guys want to review, it's in the recording of this webinar as well.
Perfect.
Let's see.
Can I chip in, Bruce, please?
Oh, please.
David, yeah, if you can go up into the chat. John put a beautiful chart on oil from today. I had one a little bit further up, but it's that theme of volume, which is sort of integral of what I do and very much what John does. And it's within the thing I've said a few times today, where Stephen was talking about 6E, I was talking about wheat, where we've got these choppy markets that can be not that one. It's John's. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's one of John's oil. Just sort of show an example
Is
of
it
what.
above that or below it? Oh, there it is. I got it.
Yeah. Yeah. So John's on the mic, so I don't. But this speaks for itself. This was, I think this is getting towards the open, wasn't it, John? The cash open.
It was, yes, right at the open. Yeah.
And you can just see, Bruce, those red bars that are coming in, the liquidity below, it's just screaming to short.
Yeah.
It just is. I know it's kept in hindsight, but it's just, it's like my 6B thing in my Webby. If you're looking at this thinking, do I want to go long or do I want to go short? No, I want to go short. Just, I don't know what else you want to say, John, but yeah.
Well, it underscores the importance of having both. Trading as Life is talking earlier, where he had liquidity below, which is why he kept his target in place, but he didn't have any volume. So I want to have both. No. And this underscores the idea of having both liquidity and volume working towards that liquidity, because you also had liquidity above at 60.50. But there was no liquidity, or I'm sorry, there was no volume pushing that way, clearly. And so I like to have the combination of both liquidity mapping the market and volume trading to it.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Totally.
completely. Yeah. And my chart before that is maybe not as nice as John's, because I'm on the long side, but it shows a lot of stops and ice going through, Bruce. It very much as old school. It's not that one. It's an oil chart. Sorry, it's a 2154. There's not as much.
Did you throw it in the chat here?
Yeah,
Oh,
2154.
I see it. I see it. Got it.
Yeah. And I'm seeing this a lot on oil. I don't know if you are as well, John.
Yes, indeed.
Just where, just look at A, Bruce, right across to A. If you can zoom out a little bit, just look at that. That is really, it's a big.
Yeah.
Scott has his names them, doesn't he? And Dumb and Dunner or whatever. Look at that. It scoots down, tears a lot of stops, and that was probably the third or so big stop run of the day. In comes the ice. In comes the buying volume. It's a slam dunk, and yeah, you can make some serious money on that.
You sure
Yeah.
can. And that's what always used to rip me trying to trade this market before Bookmap.
Before seeing it, yeah.
I would just get ripped apart with this New York market.
Yeah.
In fact, I stopped it. But yeah, it's clearly what's going on there.
It is.
Yeah, there's some big players in there. You're definitely messing with big boys.
Yeah. And you see that at B there, Bruce, in my scribble there. It's not quite 500 of ice buying, but again, you get that big V. You're selling, then the green bars come in, and it belittles how big those green bars are, because I need to drag it up a little bit. But anyway, yeah.
Well,
Power Bookmap, Bruce.
Look at the I mean, it's pretty wicked stuff.
It's wicked. Oh.
Yeah.
And these guys never got let out,
No.
Yeah. Oh boy. But yeah, crude is pretty. It's also gold. Does this quite a bit.
Yeah.
So,
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you've got the patience to sit and watch it and not get too distracted, David, as you were asking me before, Bruce, about flicking between my charts, they're there to be taken, those trades. They really are. They're very, very reliable on oil.
Yeah. So this is actually I kind of wanted to I held away from this for the trend line break and accumulation, but looking for this at the bottom of after the trend line break. I'm sorry, before the trend line break, right?
Yeah.
And then looking for that big stop run, and then looking for those aggressors to come in after that. Is somewhere around in here, when it breaks the structure again, and then look to maybe take some off here, pretty here. It just kept going. This area. So anyway, no, great charts, great discussion, guys. Like some interesting stuff to bring into the mix here as well. So I think I don't know if anyone has any kind of last. I'm kind of thinking that this is a good note to end on. If there's anything else that you guys want to go over.
David, are you using the automatic settings for your ice stops?
I'm going to say, I think I do, John. I think I copied some of yours a little while back between flicking on my MacBook, and I'm now back home at the moment in the UK. I think it's automatic. Yeah, you don't, do you?
I do. I like it.
Okay, cool. Good.
I think they did a nice job with that. I just been fiddling around with the time of consideration. You can set the look back time, and but I don't see much difference adjusting it. But I still, I always like to tweak things. But in general, I like the automatic settings, especially in crude.
Yeah, I'm very much, particularly then when I'm flicking onto other commodities that I bring, I'm thinking, I'll just have a look at this, look at that sort of thing. I've been trying to get my head back around on cattle, which I used to trade many years ago, but I'm struggling. I'm struggling on that one, Bruce, at the moment. I really am struggling on that one, trying to get. And now cattle is brutal. It really is. Yeah, it can skip, and you can be 2,000-3,000 the wrong way really quickly.
That's another
really quickly
market. Yeah, that's a good old boys market. Yeah, I used to trade that too on options.
Yeah.
But good stuff.
Yeah, I'd like to ask something really quick, Bruce.
Yeah, sure.
For pilot program members, anyone trading and marking up the trendline break accumulation, if you could please identify what your key level is, that will really help the rest of us understand the context of the trade. Because we all, we kind of have a broad range of key levels that we all look at. That would be incredibly helpful, please.
That's a tough one. I really like it, Shark. Thank you, because it's a tough one to show in the replay file. So it has to be marked up by the user.
Yeah, draw it, point at it, name it. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, thank you for that. Another thing, like, at this, you can see, well, the way I feel about these programs and these webinars, we're maturing in a really nice way, looking at now at different markets. Getting out of this S&P, NASDAQ, rut, and seeing opportunities like you were pointing out, David, in wheat here in oil. John, you spend your day as a part of your trading is looking at what's moving. And this is something actually you haven't talked about too much. We talked a little bit about, but like it really is, in my mind at least, it is exactly the up here, the market impetus, right? It's what is moving those markets, and understanding that, because like the other day, you knew exactly what's moving the markets. It was like it's earnings. That's no, here we go. What's moving the market, right? Sit back, take a step back. What is why is the market moving? Why is it not? Are people? Why are people reacting? Why is it selling off now? All these kinds of things. Look for answers, and not stupid commentary like the end of the day you'll see a lot of stories just match the price action, and it just drives me nuts. They just go, oh, market sold off because of this and that or whatever. No, this forward looking, people had huge options calls out there. They were anticipating the tech sector, and the Mag 7 stocks to knock it out of the park, and we gapped up the Monday or Friday, before, or something like that, like a week before, or maybe a week and a half before the earnings came out. This is why. And John, you knew that, you saw it, you started trading. What was it, Amazon or Nvidia, or I don't know at what, but anticipating that, and seeing that action come in. And then David, I think same thing. You're looking over at wheat or some of these other markets in here. Why are they moving? Let's get in there.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. See,
Well,
guys.
I can't crack the kettle. That's the trouble, Bruce. If you've got a moment, I've stuck the chat in the chat. Sorry, colleagues, guys.
Yeah, that's fine.
I've never traded cattle. So.
Maybe I'm just getting a bit snowblind with it, but there's you look at some massive volume coming through on selling, and the price goes back up on jack buying. It goes back up on jack buying, and the same thing. It's like this is just topsy turvy. This is 1984, so because I'd love to be able to trade this again, John, because these markets, Bruce, as they're only open for like half an hour each day. Slight exaggeration.
Yeah.
And in many ways, they're not affected by what Powell says or Musk's $1 trillion plan or what's happening in the options market. So it should be quite a simple trade. But hell, no, it's changed, John. Avoid it. Just avoid it.
Avoid the counting. That's an interesting symbol. That wasn't that when I traded it. I traded LC.
Okay.
GFF4.
Yeah, that's what I remember is a live cattle, or LC.
Yeah. LC.
Yeah.
Or Interesting.
I
How
think
about
it's to do with their
soybeans,
age.
David?
I've not been on soy for a long time. Maybe I
Yeah,
should have a little look at that. But I'm
that's
enjoying the
like
wheat.
trading gold. That thing's like trading gold. That can
Is
you
it?
be on the wrong side of that real quick. Yeah,
Yeah.
that thing will make you cry at your desk.
You bleed and cry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just one thing, guys, like, for if you guys start to want to now, I mean, David and John are experienced traders, veteran traders, uh, but you got to know your markets. Like David or John, what you were saying, like they're only open for a certain amount of hours. You got to know
Yeah.
that. You got to know, like, what are traders looking at? They're going to be looking at crop reports.
Yes.
You've got to know when these come out. You got to know what the expectations are for these numbers, because you get on the wrong side of those, you're in deep
Oof.
trouble.
Yeah.
You're going to be up limit lock maybe for a few days. You
Yeah.
will not only blow your account out, you might owe money.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
you really have to be careful
Yeah.
with these some of these markets, and you got to know them. So just don't jump in because, like, oh, I heard it, it's only open a few hours and it's great and easy, and the Fed doesn't really affect it much.
Yeah.
It's not
Go
like
for it.
that. It's like, in fact, you got to be like a weatherman. Have
Really.
that kind of knowledge basically in some of these crops.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're much different. So, but yeah, that they can be fantastic to trade.
They can
You
be.
might
They
you
can
might
be.
end up with some can of oil in your front door.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Delivery.
Yeah, that's
Delivery.
right. Yeah, David. GF is feeder cattle. You're looking at
Feeder
feeder
cat.
cattle.
Thank you. Yeah. Not the
Oh,
lean. The
okay.
whatever the
Not
which.
okay.
Yeah.
Not the line. Okay. All right. I was gonna say. Okay.
Huh.
All right.
Interesting. Um, Guys, any more questions? Aesthetics. I saw you came in a little bit later, but you were covered by Vinny, so I put it in there for you. And sorry we didn't get to it this time, but you can take a look at some of the stuff from Vinny. All right. Let's see, guys. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. Coaches, really great stuff. Great discussions. Really like the direction and the kind of maturity of these programs. Uh, um, People are doing some really nice work here, traders. So
Definitely.
let's keep it going here. We'll see you next week then.
Is Bruce's pilot the official name then?
What do you guys think of Edge Builder? Ooh, silence,
Yeah.
crickets.
You can
I think you should have something with your name in it. Maybe,
I'm not feeling it.
Bruce Trading Edge.
I like Bruce's pilot.
Bruce's
Ah,
shack.
Bruce Trading
Yeah.
Trading Edge.
how about Trader Ops?
No.
Uh,
No.
how about Tradecraft?
Going from bad to worse.
Oh, I had a good one, but I forgot it. I'll have to get back at you.
Guys, put it in the pilot program chat, please. I gotta.
Yes.
My hand is forced. It can't be called pilot program. It's not a pilot program anymore.
Oh dear Lord.
Unfortunate. Flight
Okay.
flight trainer. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Training program. I don't know. I don't know where to go with this.
Top Guns.
Uh,
Mavericks course.
Feels
Yeah.
like you don't want the name Bruce in there, period. So you can say Trading Edge strategy.
I don't know. Like, I think, I don't know, something. I mean, like, look, what? Anyway, we'll open it up in the pilot program room. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll come up with something. I'm totally open to anything here. We can put like buy somebody at the end, and heck, in the future, maybe Scott or maybe Jay Trader or Robert Roth or another Carmine or something does this kind of has this kind of process. So we're game to open that up. We'll see, how it goes, but it's the process that matters here.
Yeah.
Keeping it simple, focused, and
Learn
and
trading
and
at
and
Bulls.
and building your. I'm so convinced by it. It is your experience. It is through your experience that you are going to build this, and you're going to build it yourself, and you're going to trust it, and you're going to you're going to know what you're doing, and like I said, you're going to know how to take your winner, you're going to know how to take your loser, and you're going to have data behind it too from trading journal. So that is the goal.
Yeah, and if you start here, it's the place to at least start. I mean, it's a great platform. It's a great way to start trading because you get caught up in setup after setup, but you just stick with one and you hone it in. I completely agree.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a great place to
it's
start.
crazy like that. So much effort and emphasis is put on, oh, here's my setup, and and how I made $1 million, you know, um, and it's actually quite the opposite. As you guys are experiencing. It's very simple setup, but it's the repetition behind it. And now, do you trust it? Do you know? And then now you're building up probabilities and an edge. And from that, you should start making some money. If you're not, then time to review and maybe look at a different trade or another setup. The elements are in there. That's the process.
Yep.
All right, guys, I'm winded. So let's see. D&T, why don't you take us out? Any last comments, and we'll wrap it up.
Oh, my wife just called me. That's hilarious. Yeah, that's a bad rap for me. My bad. Yeah, no, just weekly reviews, monthly reviews. Just it's the hard work that we don't want to do, and it just makes it easier if you have one setup or two setups. I got a toddler over here, so it's hard to juggle maybe two setups for now. And but it's easy when you got one setup, and there's no excuse at that point. I mean, it's a great place to start, and if we're skipping it, or we don't have, if we're trying to do multiple setups at once, it's like, good luck. I just it'd be nice to hopefully it's nice to have a community where we can all share our experiences and our lessons that we learn over our reviews. And it's great training for us, and we all need it. And so thank you for this community, great community. And I thank you for everything you do for us, Bruce, and great work, man. You're hustling.
Good lad.
So thank you.
Thank you, D&T. Thank you, everybody, and have a good weekend then.
Cheers, traders. Take care. Thank you very much. Good night.
All right, take
Bye-bye.
care.